What's going on, guys? It is Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for some live freaking repairs. I'm your host, Bill Maru, as always. I want to say hello to all the beautiful people here in the freaking in the chat. Look at this. We got I'm gonna try to say this right. I think it's Saint Senzo. You got some numbers in your name. What's up? Oreo Mega's here. My man Ninth Archer's here. Esteban Barazza, my man Nacho. Samurai Chris. And of course, the legendary Chrisman. All right. So today we've got two figures that I have not repaired before. This is a figure from... Oh, we should probably keep this PG. There we go. And that way... I discovered that whenever I was moving an arm that apparently the train doesn't like that. So we've got this Hellwitch figure here from Executive Replicas. I had to look that up again. It's the kind of a legendary customizer since I've started customizing way back in the day. Loose Collector has their they have their own line right now, an official licensed figures, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so this is the second one of their line that I've actually had to repair. The other one I actually have on me now is a, what's her name? Lady Death, I believe. And her wrist broke. And I repaired that. So we have one of these. And then we've got the Funko from the video game Evolve. This figure's called the Goliath. I won't lie, for the price, this guy is awesome. But unfortunately, he just breaks apart. Be like Funkos unfortunately do. Their figures were they could I feel like they had a chance. Like their what was it, the Firefly line was actually really good in my opinion, but and actually none of those broke on me, which is pretty cool. But every now and then you'll get the paint stick. Anyways, this guy's notorious for breaking, and as you can see here, his arm's missing, his legs are missing. These come from the main man, Jesse Dankins from Toy Migos and the king of dinosaurs himself. So I'm going to fix these for him. Told him I'd fix them live for him today, and that's what we're going to do. First thing that I'm going to do, though, is we're going to heat up our figures here. I'm afraid to even move this arm, but I mean, oh man, this arm's like... Yeah, I had to fix the legs for him, and when he sent it to me, as he was packaging it up, he broke the elbow off, I believe, or the arm off. He's like, "Are you serious right now?" So we got to fix this guy. He looks like he's a pretty cool figure, but man, I'm pretty sure this arm is stuck as well. So we're going to have to heat the heck out of this thing because this boy is thick. This is some thick plastic, man. Anyways, hey, what's up, doggo? Right on, man. Oh, my man, Creeper Creations is in here. I love him. Always call. It's good to see you guys. It's always good. I always feel like I say it wrong, but it is. It's Creeper Creations. I want to say I kept saying Keeper Creations. Creeper Creations, who makes some of the coolest Hanna-Barbera customs, just some of the coolest Hanna-Barbera customs, man. And if you look at his name right there, I believe it's the same on YouTube in the chat. Check him out. He's a really nice dude, really cool guy, and really cool customs, man. I really love the Hanna-Barbera love because we don't see a whole lot of it unless it's Scooby-Doo. You know, that seems to be one of the only ones. But I want more like Johnny Quest and stuff like that. And he made a Birdman, which is super cool. With Avenger, by the way. Just a little nice accessory there. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to heat this up so we can pop out this peg from the elbow. But while I'm doing that, I'm also kind of heating up the shoulder a little bit so we can see if we can't free this arm because it is not bending down. So let's see what happens here. Like I said, I'm using a heat gun. It saves me a lot of time, but you got to be really careful if you're using one of these. You really got to practice and learn it because if you're not paying attention or you don't know what you're doing or whatever, this thing can really destroy a figure. It can melt it like crazy. So, got to be really careful with them. All right, so let's see if that's enough. The plastic seems kind of soft right here. Might be enough. Oh, there went Mikey. Sorry, bud. All right. right. Let's see if we can't carefully. Let's find out what happened here. Because I'm imagining the paint might be stuck a little bit. Let's see if we can't move this guy out a little bit more. There we go. I don't think I did anything there. All right, come on. You always want to make sure that you're actually on the inside of the where the peg goes in, the cavity. You don't want to be like stabbing down into it. I mean, it probably won't do that much damage, but it sure makes it a heck of a lot easier if you can get in there and just kind of... Oh, I broke my freaking screwdriver! Dang it. Alright, well, we'll turn this into a new pick. What I'll do is I'll sand this down later on, probably tomorrow. Alright, well, we're going to need a stronger... we're going to need a bigger screwdriver. I just got those not too long ago. They weren't really expensive, so I was testing those out. And clearly, they're not very strong. I haven't suggested those to anybody. I think it's the first time I've broken a screwdriver like that, like snapped it. I've bent a screwdriver before. I don't think I've ever broken one. All right, well, let's try this. Now, this is a German brand. I might be saying it wrong. It's either Weha or Waiha, but they got these red ends on them. These are my favorite screwdrivers. I want to see if they make smaller ones, honestly. These babies are tough. These are real strong. Probably should have used this from the get-go, but let's see if we can't get under the peg head. Gosh dang. Careful. All right. Let's go. What the hell? What was that? Did something just fall off? Oh, I think that might have been the screwdriver piece. I can't. Dang it, dude. I can't believe that broke. Oh, no, a screw fell over. Okay. Wow. Huh. Maybe it's Viha or Wiha. But either way, this is an amazing brand. Made in Germany. Right there. Says it. Dang, dude. That was insanity. I can't believe that broke. Alright, let's heat this arm up a little more. And we'll go in with the good screwdriver. God, I can't believe that happened, dude. This freaking broke. What's up, Henry? Don't stab the cavity. Got it. Thanks, Shaggy. Hey, Shaggy, if you take anything from this, don't stab the cavity. All right, let's heat this guy up. A lot. This is really thick plastic. It's nuts how thick this plastic is. And we'll see if we can't. This is how I always try to repair or unstick a stuck disc joint. This works on pretty much all the figures that I try this on. At least this is the first step I would always try. So you want to go in like here. Gosh, stab yourself. You want to go in. Let's see if we can get better. I'm having trouble here because I've got like this light right here. So I'm going around the light. Let's keep our hands over here. Okay, and you can see there's a seam right here. It's really loose, like the arm is loose, which is weird inside. It's got a... let's see. We got to be real careful here because if you push on this, it could... Right, you see how that's moving with it. So you want to find a good center here. Try to get it away from your fingers like that. Had you have had your hand underneath it. So yeah, you got to be real careful with this. It's so... This plastic is ridiculously thick. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll use a smaller one to start. If we can. If it'll stay still for us. Alright, let's see what we got here. God dang. I think we found the problem though. I'm pretty sure it's stuck right in here. I can hear the plastic like fighting back. Yeah, let's heat it up a little more. Definitely don't want to come down stabbing my hand. Man, I think it's this top piece right here. I'm thinking that a paint wash, what happens a lot of times is a paint wash gets into it and it seals it almost. And when your joints are as brittle as these are, they tend to break. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold on to this one this time. Let's see, where were we? Oh, he's such an awkward dude. He's got like all these little spikes too, which are really comfortable to hold on to. Okay, there we go. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, so it's only this peg or this disc that's like going in to the bicep right here. So that could also be stuck. Let's see what we got here. It's kind of a, we're just testing this out really. Basically what I'm trying to do is get under the seam and try to bend it up a little bit so we can get our screwdriver in there. There we go. Real careful, like, because one slip and you could right into your hand. Because generally you're not trying to be super duper gentle with these, or at least like not applying a little bit of pressure. Alright, let's see what happens here. I'm just trying to kind of bend this around because here's the problem. I can't get in the other side, really. I could probably get in a little bit right here, but let's see if this helped. Will it bend back? Let's see, will it bend front? There we go. That's what we wanted right there. Now you can see there's even like a little bit of paint scuff right here where this thing was probably stuck the entire time, but it's got a ratchet system in it. You can feel it, like you can even hear it, like, hear that? That pop. Pop, pop. Yep, it's a ratchet system. I'm not a fan of ratchet systems, honestly. They tend to limit articulation. And I wouldn't be surprised. Here, check this out. So if you can see right here, see that little bit of this gray plastic right here? How it's not flush with this arm? I'd be willing to bet that inside of this right now, this is broken. This piece is definitely broken, but what's happened is it's like in here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's broken somewhere right here. And but it's holding on, so I wouldn't want to mess with this because this thing is a giant thing, and it's a pinless as well, which means I bet you if you open this thing up, that freaking pin inside is going to be insanely thick. So we definitely want to not mess with that. Plus, it's working just fine. It's actually got a good tension to it. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's cracked, and that's why, because these things are really, really tight. I mean, and this is another thing that kind of makes me nervous, and I have to let Jesse know this. It's like, hey, man, once you do get this fixed, once I do get this fixed, I will be utilizing a screw method to put this in and put it back in here. You have to be real careful. You can't use this. You won't be able to use this arm to, like, and I don't think you should do this even before repair. Like, that's why you see while I'm moving this, I'm grabbing it by the bicep. I'm not grabbing it by the arm right here, because if you do that, you're likely to snap that arm, and you don't want to do that. So always, and with all your figures, do this. And if you've never had an issue before, congratulations. That's all I can say to that. I see people do that all the time. It's always funny when I see that too. Like, first off, how does that help? Never had an issue like that. Never had one break on me like that. It's like, well, this one did. So if you want to keep rolling the dice, great. That's totally fine. I'm just here to give you some advice. Take it or leave it. That is totally up to you. But I'll remember you. I'll remember you. Let's go ahead after that threat. Let's go ahead and let's test this guy out. So something broke this, right? Something broke. We're gonna heat this up, and I can only assume it was either from trying to move the arm like this, or trying to bend it and it snapped. What we can actually do first is I'd rather heat it up. We could attempt to put a screw in it like right away and see if that's gonna solve the problem, to see if it will bend for us, but I'd rather heat this up first just to double check to see what's going on. This is a real job. I didn't realize exactly how much was going to be in this. So let's just heat this guy up a bit. Didn't take too long. It's a smaller piece right here. We're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. And like I said, I do this on all my figures that have a stuck joint like this. You go in from the sides like this after you've heated it up. Don't go in without heating it up. If you do that, then you could damage the plastic. Doing it like this, if the plastic stays, you know, kind of bent out, you can heat it up and it'll, you know, pop back in, because right now it's like soft and malleable. All right. It's going to go in from here. I'm trying to be careful with this because this is kind of brittle plastic, so you have to be kind of careful with it. It's that clear stuff that DC Direct used to use all the time, and UOG collectors, or even if some of you new guys have happened to grab a DC Collectibles figure from those old school lines and they have that clear plastic. Okay, so we could see that this is, I don't know if it's because I just heated it up or if it was already like this, but it looks like this is good. This is moving, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jesse actually like grabbed the arm on accident and moved it to try to bend this guy here, and it broke, because that's a lot of pressure. I'd like to be able to say I could like repair this arm to the point to where you wouldn't have to worry about that, but that is such a thick and strong joint, you just have to be mindful of it. There's no really getting around that. Okay, so check this out. Oh, sorry, I'll let you guys know real quick, this is really cool. For my patron people, oh no, did I leave them in the living room? Oh no. Oh, did I really leave them in the living room? I've got something really cool for my patrons, and I want to show it off. 2 seconds. Oh. Only the most professional streams, guys. Only the most professional streams. Okay, thank you for waiting. Sorry about that. I want to show these off real fast before we get back to repairing here. Okay, so this right here, I'm getting some, it's just a little thank you. I don't know if you want to call it a perk or whatnot, but for my patrons, I had some stickers made of the logos I had made. This one right here was actually drawn up by my good friend Corey from Casting Cave. This is a really cool, like, dark man, dark maru. He's got like the mask, he's got the cool little wraps on his hand and a screwdriver, and I put the text on here and whatnot. This is for our first tier, the more common tier of the Toychanics Patreon. So this will be going out to all my Recruit Maru members. And then this is really cool. So this is the second tier that we got. This is cool. This is the Maroonatic. So this design right here, this cool like grungy Bill Maru logo, was made by Angus McQuaid. It's the coolest freaking name ever. He's from Australia, and he's a customer, client, friend. And so he made this. So I put the text on here, which I might change the text later on. So this is a first run, because it's a little difficult to read in the light right there. But, you know, I think it's kind of cool. I put like a padded room behind it because it's crazy, right? But this is my second tier. And then the creme de la creme. And this man is in the freaking... He's in our audience right now. Soul Brother. This dude is so talented. It blows my mind sometimes how talented people really can be. And this is his rendition of yours truly as the Toychanics Supreme, and it's so cool, man. It was his. This is his doing, really. I had some color things that I was like, oh, if you could do it in like gray and orange, that's really awesome. If not, don't. And he did this whole mock-up of me fixing this toy with magic. People tend to call me a wizard. It's just what they say, and I appreciate that. It's very humbling. But this is like the top tier. So I made up the Maruminati, and it makes sense with the Doctor Strange kind of feel. And like I said, Soul Brother did this. He's amazing. So these are going out to the. I think I have like one or two in that highest tier. So those are going to be pretty more rare, I'd say. But either way, thank you guys. Thank all of y'all for like a different artist drew those up for me, and I just think that's amazing. We have such a cool, very cool community out there, very talented community that just, I don't know, just blows my mind. And a guy I work with, his name's Matt, and he's amazing. I love this guy. His wife, Dusty, does these amazing, like, cups. She does, like, custom cups designs. And it's not, like, just a design on a cup. Man, she's, like, got steampunk cups where she put freaking, like, gears all over. It's got, like, a sensory thing, like a pipe for a handle. All sorts of crazy things. And she also was like, oh, yeah, I can do stickers. I'm like, what? Because I used to use Sticker Mule, and nothing against Sticker Mule. I love them. But Dusty she's a local, she's small business, and her husband's freaking awesome. He's a good friend of mine. It's cool whenever you can make friends at work, but people that you really trust. So, anyways, with all that said, just want to say a little shout out to everybody out there. I just think it's amazing. Hey, Soul Brother, if you would, could you please put your Instagram in the chat? If you don't mind. I'm sorry, I don't have that on me. I don't have a mod. I'm looking for, it'd be cool if there's somebody out there who would want to dedicate an hour or hour and a half of their time every Sunday to being a mod like Mitch Falcon is for Dave Wonder. That would be awesome. Like they put up the little logos or they put up like people's names and stuff like that. I would love to up the production, but I'm doing too much with my hands already. You know what I mean? And I would love to do that. I would love to up the production. And sometimes you need help, which is why all these guys did all these logos for me and these designs and just out of the kindness of their heart. Okay? Like let me just reiterate that. I didn't pay for any of those things. These guys did it on their own. And I'm not saying they're going to do something for you for free. Okay? I'm just saying that these guys took the time out of their like schedule to design something like that for me, and I can't appreciate I just can't appreciate you more than that. Anyways, I'll be gushing over you guys for freaking days if I don't stop now. So let's go ahead and get back to this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and heat up these thick thighs. We're gonna heat these thick thighs. All right. Hey, check that right there. Soul Brothers deal right there is drawn from the Soul Art and the Soul Brother, and it's SEOUL. Look at those right there in the chat. Look at them in the chat right now. They're this way, down, third, right. They're right here. I think they're right there below you. All right, let's heat these thighs up. Now I suggest doing one of these at a time. This is he already took them out. Huh. Jesse. So Jesse already took these out for me. Because he's freaking awesome. Oh man, that's so good. Okay, so that actually saves us a lot of time. So let's go ahead and heat up Hellwitch's arm. And we're going to heat that arm up and get this peg out real fast. And we'll need a small screwdriver for this one, which... Oh, man. R.I.P. Hardly knew you. Hardly knew you. Alright, so let's go ahead and heat up this arm. And you want to be careful with this. This arm's got this really crazy, like, scoop on the bottom. And if you leave the heat on it too long, it could definitely warp it. So you want to be real careful with that. We're going to go in real light with this one. Like I said, it's got this crazy, like, look at this long scoop. So let's go ahead and see if that was enough. This screwdriver is actually a little bigger than the one I wanted to use, but that's okay. That'll help get this out faster. God dang. Yeah, I'm going to use a smaller screwdriver, I believe. Or we can use maybe this pick will work. This is what happens whenever you break a screwdriver. You just turn it into a pick. I've never worked with these before, so I'm not sure what the size of this peg is going to be. I think these heads come off, though. Let's go and take that off. That'll make it a little easier. Man. I've got a smaller screwdriver than that. I'm not sure where it's at. Oh, yeah. Much better without the head on here. Let's heat it up a little more. I think it'll be fine. We just need something that'll slide in under there and pry that out a little easier. And I just don't know where my dang little screwdriver went. I use all these tools all the time, and then they just go flying somewhere. So let's see if we can't get this one out this way. Oh, man. It is really in there. I'll tell you that much. Oh, we got it. What the heck? Is it seriously this small? Oh my god, no wonder it broke. Look at the size of this peg. Okay, well, why is it that is too thin? That's way too thin of a peg. I don't feel comfortable reusing that at all. So what I'll do is I'm going to use a piece of a Figma or a Revotech joint, which would be in the box of joints over here. And let's see if we can find one that's like kind of close to the same color. You're not going to really need it to be a matching color. It'd be nice though if it's a lighter color, so if it, for some reason, something does kind of peek out a little bit, it's not that noticeable. Let's see what we got here. This looks good. Looks a little bright. That's a little too light. Let's see if we got a darker color in here. Oh, here we go. I always try to find one if I've already used one. Look at that. That looks dang good. That right there is going to work. And what we're going to do is we're just going to reshape that peg to match that one. Although it might not take a whole lot. That is such a tiny freaking peg, guys. Let's get comfortable. Into Mesnob. I'm trying to say your name right. Into me snob? Into. I'm going to call you Into. Into, today we are going to be reattaching the legs and the arm from the elbow to the Goliath. What do you guys want to see first? Do you want me to do Hellwitch? Which will just be, basically, we'll reattach. We have to make a peg for it, essentially, and attach it. Or do you want me to do this one first? We're doing both today, so it's up to you guys. If you guys want to see, I don't know if you guys want to, I don't know if you guys even care. Yeah, and nothing against these figures at all. I think they're pretty. The sculpt is nice. If you love these characters, I would definitely, I guess, suggest them. The price is a little high in my opinion, but I mean they are really nicely done. There's a cool, like, she's got like these piercings on her that are painted, and the eyes are whatever blacked out, and the hair's got like a slight wash in it and stuff. So these are nice, I guess. If you're into these characters, and this is kind of the only option you have, but man, they are a little they're a little pricey. I think I'm gonna say they're like $70 a pop or so. So all right, so we're gonna start with Hellwitch here, and it feels actually like her, I think this ball in her neck is actually locked up too. Let's see. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. I'm wrong. It's just got those weird notches in it. Okay, so we're going to start with Hellwitch today. Yeah, I mean, they've got single elbows, so you're looking at like, it's not a bad range, but I don't know. It's, you make your own call. It's kind of flimsy here, and I don't know if the Lady Death is like that or not. I'm not trying to bash on these guys. Like, trust me, I'm not. I just, yeah. This looks a little better, I guess. I think they're the exact same. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same. It's like there's a base body they use and then add on to it from there. These are actually sculpted right here where the gloves are, so that's nice. The thing I didn't like really was, this is turning into a review, is this right here. That makes me nervous. All of the hands have the individual hinge in them. And so that's actually what broke on the hand that I had to fix. And I could see why, because they're that's snug fit. And with this one, she's even got her head is like on a really long peg. Unfortunately, my client, he put a third-party cape cloak on her, and you can see it stained the skin. Not the figure's fault. This is like the John Wick Mezco issue, where that body was just stained underneath. But yeah, and the only way to take that out of there is, in my opinion, is you could use low grade acetone, but I think it's going to take off this blue kind of airbrushing on here. I asked the client, I was like, "You want me to try to cover that up?" And he's like, "No, that's fine." So I was like, "Okay, thanks," because maybe I could do it, maybe I couldn't. Okay, let's get back to it. Sorry, guys. Y'all are here to hang out, though, right? Y'all aren't in a hurry. Let's do what we got to do here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of, like I said, recreate this peg here. I tell you what, I have not been posting to my Instagram, like my repairs and whatnot. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take a quick photo of this, guys, if you don't mind. Because, for the gram, right? That's what the kids say. We're going to do this, and then we're going to get to it. Okay, so what we'll do, since we already have this kind of piece right here, and I mean, we really lucked out. Look at that color. That's pretty dang good. I mean, this actually matches the skin tone better than the peg itself. The plastic's a slight different, like peach color from here, it looks like. Maybe that's from the stress mark. Anyways, I'm really not bad. I really respect Loose Collector. They've been in the game a long time. And props to them for getting a license and stuff like this. It's really cool. I won't lie, this is weird to me, but it's seamless. It works really well. This is just, why did we need, I mean, I guess it's a good way to do other costumes, or I don't know. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sand this down to try to match this a bit, but I'm not gonna match that size of that peg, like this. So, for lack of a better word, the shaft. Grow up. I'm gonna keep that a bit thicker. This is my life. Okay, so this already has like kind of a peg going on right here, and Ninth Archer is gonna have a blast with this one. I already feel it. Be mature, Ninth. We're done. Okay, so we're gonna take a sanding bit and let's sand it down. And essentially, this is my method, man. I just take my method, man. This is my method. Audience is take a sanding bit and just keep going around like this. And you can tell this is good plastic, man. This PVC stuff is awesome. I use this for a lot of stuff. I wish I could just get like solid rods of this made and like different sizes, because then I could just cut it, shape it, be done. That'd be amazing. This plastic is so good. And it's funny too, because I say that, but it's like it breaks all the time on figures, but if I'm going to replace it, you've got to replace it with essentially the same thing. On import figures, like SHF figures or Mafex figures or Mezco figures, even Legends. Like, I use this stuff all the time. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shave this down a little bit more. Try to keep it even. I tend to, like, whenever I'm shaving these down, I tend to, like, kind of come in at an angle, not on purpose. It just kind of happens the way I'm holding it, and it kind of leaves the end thicker and this smaller, which works for a peg, but a lot of times you want to try to keep it as even as possible. Let's see. So this is where we're wanting to go here. We need about, I'd say this is about probably under a 1/4 inch. Yeah, just a shy under a 1/4 inch long. So this is just perfect. Let's shave this down a bit. Here's kind of a trick we can do. So check this out. So technically, we could actually use this end piece here. Since we have to make it so small, we can actually use this end piece here to keep shaving down further and further. And then we can see, basically insert this peg backwards. And if it fits that way, then we're golden. I'll show you what I mean if that was confusing as heck, because it sounded confusing to me and I said it. So what I'm doing is basically not going all the way, like, up. I'm trying to make like a, basically I'm doing this backwards. So I'm going around this way, right? To keep this thinner around the edge. Hey, Jurassic Jesse with a $5 super chat. You know, I turned those off not too long ago, but I went ahead. I didn't even actually remember turning them back on. But they are here. But, you know, instead of super chats, you can join the Patreon. Just saying. I'm just saying. It's not that expensive. If you can't afford it, that's okay. Just saying. I'd rather you guys be there. But anyways, these are for the Jurassic Jesse. He's in the chat right now. This is one of his figures. And Jesse, by the way, thank you so much for removing these pegs from the hips. I really do appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay, see how we're going in right here. What we don't want is for this to be too thick. If it's too thick, that's with 5 O's, too thick, then what's going to happen is it's going to bloat out that bicep, and it's going to be too tight, and it's going to suck. So we don't want that. So let's go ahead and keep shaving this down. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And I think what's going on as well is my my sanding bit is getting a bit dull, which I kind of like sometimes because it makes the process a little, I guess, less destructive. It almost turns it into a finer grit. It does turn it into a finer grit, basically, which is nice because then I have more control. Okay, this is looking nice. This is looking wonderful right here. This is what we want. Okay, see? So now we've inserted this in backwards, essentially. See how that went in and then pulls out, right? It actually pops in really nice. But then if you were to pull it, it'll pop out. So this is great. So now what we're going to do, since we know that that will fit around, what we're going to do with this, we're just going to clip this end off and shave it down a little bit, and this will be our peg because we kept it just a little bit smaller. So we know that there's a perfect amount of swivel in there, which is great. So we're going to take this and we're going to try to cut it up as high as we can near the base. Let me grab. Always have a Ziploc bag nearby. This is a baby Ziploc bag. There we go. Oh, almost lost it. I keep junk like this. You never know when you're going to need something like that. I could still make a peg out of that. As crazy as that sounds. Okay. So, next, we're going to compare the size, right? Let me take a photo of this. Sorry, real quick. I don't lose my phone. Like I said, I like to keep this try to keep my Instagram updated for you guys, and it's so hard to keep this thing updated. But man, I guess my name just stays hovering out there in the ether because I keep getting work, guys, and I owe that all to y'all, all of you guys out there. Thank you so much. People hit me up and they're like, "Hey, I saw your name on Reddit," and I'm like, "Oh, neat." I'm actually on Reddit too, but I'll pop in sometimes and give advice in a comment, like in a deal where like I was mentioned. People are like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this will work," and they're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, oh well. But somehow you guys keep me going, so thank you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and sand this down into a peg shape. All right. It'd probably be better. I got a better idea. Before we shave that down, because we're holding that with our fingers, right? We're just holding that with our fingertips, and that could be a real issue. I'm trying to see. I don't think I can use my super strong pegs on this one. We might have to go medium, which is still great. I just love these to death, man. These are amazing. But I don't think there's a pardon. I don't think there's enough real estate. You'd have to shave the whole thing out and you destroy it in the process. So we don't want to do that. So I have these medium. I wouldn't say medium strength, just medium length. And these are a bit smaller. So we're going to go through here. It's going to be, we need to be real careful because I really don't want to mess that peg up. That's a really great size peg. So what we'll do is, I've got these are really decent. Usually I go in with a smaller drill bit almost every time, but man, lately some of the plastic I've been dealing with, it just wants to break my drill bits and I keep breaking them. So I've got these that are stronger. They're just a basic bit. They're not finger drill bits like these, right? And so this right here is actually the perfect size. I believe this is a 1 mil. It's really cool. They come in like these little canisters that look like this. Just a little canister like that. And the coolest thing about this is I have a magnet strip across in front of me on my wall, and I can just attach that to it. It's awesome. All my tools hang off of it and stuff like that. Jesse says, "Hey Bill, can you make sure the right arms are okay on these figs before you send them back? I would hate to snap those as well. Maybe lube them up or something." Man, Ninth, you just love Jesse. From what I can tell, this arm is actually pretty good. It swivels, it bends. Nothing's standing out to me on this thing. Bend it all the way around. These arms aren't supposed to be popping out, are they? These arms these don't. I'm not sure. Are these arms like swappable at the elbow? I don't know anything really about these figures. So if they are, then we can definitely make sure of that. If they're not, then that one should be totally fine. This guy right here seems really good. Jesse, I think the problem, and I was telling everybody about this, but I wanted to make sure that you hear it too. When you do bend the shoulders, don't bend them by the arm here. Grab them by the bicep. Like this. Earlier, what I did at the very beginning of this was this shoulder was actually stuck. So they couldn't, the shoulder couldn't bend down. It was like, I think it was like stuck like right, god dang, like right there. And I went in and moved it. Oh man, looks like it's like cooled down. I'm gonna have to go back in there and do it again. I got it to where it would pop. We all saw it at the beginning, so there it'll pop. And you can't grab the arm to like do that or it will snap. But man, we might have to go back. God dang. I think it's cooled down to the fact that it's cooled down so much that it actually re-solidified. That had to be what broke your dang thing. What broke your arm? I know it is. And so what we have to do is we have to heat this guy up. And I'm going to try to go in from the other side as well. We'll see what happens. Kind of bouncing between each one here. I'm surprised that went back to the way it is. So you gotta really heat this up, man. This thing is insane. Yeah, anytime you have and I would use this for any figures at all. Don't ever bend them by the elbow. Um, Especially these single joint ones, because that's all that's holding onto it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like an elbow that has double joints, and even then I wouldn't do it. But it's literally, its only point is this tiny little peg, and if that's the only thing that's holding on to this guy, you really gotta focus that, you know, just kind of be, I'm not gonna say be smarter, but, you know, be careful. Be way more careful with it, because it's just gonna ruin it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to bend a little plastic. Just try to bend the plastic a little bit here inside the arm like that, and it's gonna kind of snug back. You can see how easy it is now once it's warmed up, but once it cools down, it's gonna just go right back to where it was. So I'm trying to kind of, we go in, you got to be real careful doing this. If you went in with a bigger screwdriver, this could tear right here, and then you've got a whole different issue on your hands. But I didn't really go in this side earlier, so let's see if we can maybe loosen up something, whatever is causing this. Right here. Let's move this out, kind of see if there's some kind of anomaly in the plastic. This, oh man, this disc is actually insanely thick. I didn't think it was going to be that thick. I thought it was going to be more like the NECA turtles, the quarter scale NECA turtles, or the quarter scale NECA anything really. Let's see, and that'll usually, you see, that's how it's supposed to be moving. And I don't know, it's almost like a part of me wants to put like something in here, like just like a little piece that would keep this, but I think that would just make things worse. But yeah, you can always take a screwdriver after you heat it up and kind of just bend it back and forth like so. And we'll see if that helped right there. I didn't go in through the top earlier, so maybe that'll help. But here we go. It's that ratchet system. There we go. This is how it's supposed to work. I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna try to let it sit in the middle of the ratchet, so it's not clicked over yet, like how it'll click like that, click like that. Why don't I'm gonna set it right on top and let that cool, and maybe whenever it's done, that'll actually let it like give it just that little extra bit of, you know, room that it's needing right now. And we'll see if that works. So we're gonna leave him alone for right now. Look at him doing his best Shakespeare. Why? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take this peg again that we're working on with Hellwitch. So we're hopping back to Hellwitch here. I grip it with my wire pliers. These are great. They've got the divot here. And I can already tell you guys today, the stream's going to run long. So strap in. Okay. So we're going to try to take this. What we're going to do is go down the center here. And what I do is I go in from the bottom, because this bottom piece is where it's actually going to, the final connection will be made here on the arm. If you go in through the top and let's say you kind of come in diagonal, well, now you know, if you come out the end, you can't really attach that correctly. It'll be crooked. But if you go in from the bottom, it gives you a much better shot at keeping it down the center. So let's go ahead and want to make sure we got this right in the center. And sometimes this plastic can be a little finicky, so you kind of got to go in slow and steady. You got to start making like a divot. And you want to make sure it starts in the very center. Like I said, I would be using my smaller drill bits to start almost always do that, but here recently, Some of this plastic I've been using has been kind of a jerk. Come on. Man, this is some plastic. I think it pushed my drill bit. Did what? I don't think I had my key tightened, or my chuck. My keyless chuck. No wonder that wasn't working right. Sometimes it could be a real pain, but it just... I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was fun. Alright, let's get back to it. You gotta make sure these things are straight. That's the only issue I ever run into with these chucks, is like you just need to make sure that they're straight. You can start it, and you'll notice at the end if it's kind of flopping, reinsert. Alright, hang on. Let's keep it off to the side. I don't want to go down this. I want to make sure it's on the center. And it looks like the plastic kind of gave away on the side a little bit, so I'm just going to try to grind it up. Oh, stop. There we go. Come on. Oh my gosh. Keeps trying to go to the side. Quit. Oh my god. It's being such a jerk, dude. It keeps trying to clip to the left. It's just, you gotta hang on for a second. I can't believe how long this is taking. Oh my god. Stop. Oh man, I'm about to throw this thing. I can't believe. Dude, it's like to the side, to the side. Come on. I just need to break the plastic free right here. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay. So we're not gonna go all the way through. We are gonna use one of our smaller drill bits though to teach this thing a lesson in manners. This plastic's crazy strong. Come on back. Think about that. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Wow. That is really strong plastic, dude. Like, it's like there's a singe mark on here. Should be fine, but it looks like there's like a singe mark right down the side, which that's weird. Either way, this will still work, but man, I think that heated up a lot. Heated up a lot in there. All right. Which is cool though about this plastic too. If it does heat up, you can mold it a little bit. It looks like though it like split at the top, which is better than at the bottom. So we'll go ahead and we'll come in and we'll make this hole a little bit bigger. You want to kind of shoot yourself in the forehead with it. I just clipped out like that. Hang on. Might want to use some safety glasses. All right, you come in at the side angle here. If it'll grip it. I think I need to clean off my my wire pliers. They've got some super glue on them. Okay, we're gonna go back through one more time. What is stopping this thing from going through? I don't get it. I've never experienced like I just drilled a hole through here and it's still giving me trouble. Oh, dude. I think this had a broken off I think this had a broken off peg in it or a broken off drill bit in it, which would explain why it's being so difficult. I must have been broken on the other side and I didn't even see it. That's where this dark burn is right in there. That's a freaking that is a broken that's a broken drill bit from a previous attempt apparently. Oh man, are you serious? If I would have looked at the end. Oh, that was dumb. Dang it. Are you serious right now? Like all that just for... Oh, man. Son of a gun. Dang it. That's oh, man. Yeah, you know what? And I know why that happened, too. It's because I used a smaller drill bit on the last... Why did I keep that? Man, I must have been in a rush whenever I got rid of that one or something, because that's nuts. Okay, well, we got to do that again, but here's what we'll do. We're going to take a new one, make sure it hasn't been drilled into, and we'll drill down the center of it. Let's see how hard this one is to drill into. It's still pretty tough. I don't want to use that small drill bit. If I do that, it'll break, just like last time. You gotta go in slow and steady. But yeah, that one had like this burn on it. I was wondering where the heck, I was like, how did that even happen? There we go. It's all the way through. All the way through, and no burn marks or anything. Dang, dude. I want to cut. I'm gonna cut that thing open later on. I want to see what drill bit was in there. All right, now we gotta do all that over again. Sorry, guys. It's hilarious. Okay, here's the one with our hole on it. Let's go through here. Jeez. That's hilarious. Don't you love wasting time? Alright. Alright, so we're going to sand through here. Alright, now let's test this, see if this will go in the arm again. Oh man, I bet I was pissed whenever I did that on that one. Because that was that must have been perfectly in the center. That's why it was cutting to the left on me. It was pushing away from that thing. Alright, let's see. Oh, that's nice. Dang. Look at that. pops in. So we'll keep this thicker bit right here on the end. We're going to do exactly what we did a minute ago. Dang it. Let's see, it doesn't have to be that long. We can actually shave a little bit of this off. I want to make sure that I don't cut off more than I need. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go through here. There we go. Get right to the end. Grab our plastic bag so we don't lose anything. Clip. Put this back over here. Okay. So now that we've got the hole drilled here, we need to go back through the other side. We've sanded it down a bit. So we're going to go through the other side because this is where our screw is actually going to come in, enter from. There we go. Okay, and we picked out our screw a second ago. It's right here. So it's actually right here. So a lot of times what we like to do, or what I always do, is you want to try to start inserting this here. And sometimes you're going to have to go back through with your drill bit, because a lot of times what can happen in this process is you'll get through here and it'll, like, if it's too tight, it'll snap. It'll snap your plastic immediately and you'll know. But if it's right, it'll have like just enough tension. So you always want to make sure it's just a little larger than what the drill bit can actually do on here. And the reason I do that is just to kind of guarantee that this is going to fit properly. Like I said, if you're going in, it might snap this plastic. As strong as this plastic is, it still can obviously break, from what you've seen from the Hellwitch elbow. So this feels good. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, you should be able to do it with your fingers instead of, like, you shouldn't have to grip it completely with, pliers. Okay, so we're going to sand this down just a little bit, kind of edge it out, make a peg out of it. Remember earlier, whenever we were shaving around it, we've already got this indentation right here, which is going to be what keeps it locked in. Now we tested it with basically this shaft part, and it went in perfectly, and you could twist it and everything like that, which is what we want. But this, we'll have to heat up the arm to pop this in. But once that's in, that's what's going to keep it in. All right. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and kind of reshape this a little bit, because what can happen is whenever you're heating this up with that drill bit while you're holding it, a lot of times I kind of clamp it a little too hard and it can kind of squish it a little bit. So you just kind of want to reshape that so it's not oblong when it goes in there. That is another reason though why I like these wire pliers. It's because you've got this divot here and it will keep them in. It won't smush it as much, and that always helps. All right, so next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and insert this here into the end one more time. Give it a couple of screws in, and we're going to be able to hold on to this now. And what we got to do is we've got to change the length on this just a little bit. It's not a whole lot, but we don't want this hanging out of our arm. So only went in a little bit. We're not going to hit the screw. And if you do, just stop, back up. All right, I think that's good. We don't want to take off too much. We're going to take off just enough. Okay. And you want to bring your screw back through here, because whenever you sand the end like that, what it does is it can heat some of that plastic up and kind of get it kind of in the way. So I'm going to take that out. Okay, we're almost done with this. Let's back this up. All right, let me take a quick photo of this, and then we're going to attach it. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and drill a hole into the elbow of old Hellwitch here. Let's see this arm. You find the spot right where it broke, which is right here. It's a little, usually it'll have a stress mark. It'll be flat. You can't really miss it. I'm going to keep this directly in the center. I'm going straight. And be careful, not going too far. A lot of times I like to try to test it by hand like this. Is it okay? Pretty sure that's all the way in. We don't want to go, just in case if you go through the disc or whatnot into the peg, that's, keep, making it hinge. What I like to do is I'll take my screw just a little bit, put it in a little bit, and just move it out of the way. So we went to the opposite side here. So when we do put the screw back in, it's not going to, just in case you went too far, it won't attach itself to that other hole that might have went into the peg. Usually what you want to do is just kind of barely apply a little bit of pressure, and you'll always feel when it gets out of that hard plastic and starts hitting the peg. And even if you do go all the way through, it's okay. Just make sure, like I said, twist the disc around, and then you will be golden. You don't also want to put the screw in too far. You put the screw in too far, then you will lock the joint itself. So here's what we can do. We can test this. Yeah, that's perfect. This is what we want. And so a lot of times what I do is I'll put it in like that, and I'll hold it with my finger, and I'll see where just about how far I can go in before, it starts hitting that center peg. So we're looking at probably about I'd say a 1/9 of an inch, maybe 1/8. So that's how far that screw can hang out of this peg. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to straighten out our screw. I'm pretty sure I just knocked the peg off. Oh, thank God. Fell on the table. All right, so let's straighten it. Doesn't have to be completely perfect. Really, we need that threading straightened. Oh, that's weird. There we go. I like to keep this straight as I can get it. Kind of bends a little bit there. You don't want to keep on bending it back and forth because it can break. And that should be enough. So, and then I like to hook it at the end like that, because then you can grip it like so, and it'll give you something to twist instead of just trying to twist a straight piece, which is what you don't want. I think this has got some coating on it. Let's get that off. Silver, that chrome coating. Okay. Now that we've straightened this, take another picture for the gram. All right. Hang tight. Okay. So next we're going to begin to screw this into the peg from the top. Going a few. Like I said, should be able to do that by hand. Okay. And then you want to grip it with your wire pliers here. I'm going to grab some JB Super Weld, my adhesive of choice, one of my adhesives of choice. And let's back it up just a little bit so it hits this threading. So I hit it with this. You'll notice I inserted that first before putting that on because we don't want any glue on the tip of this yet. We only want glue on the tip whenever we're ready to put it into the elbow. So remember how far it could go in, okay? It's probably, I think that's safe. Yeah, that's a safe bet. Okay, so what you do after you've screwed that in, generally what will happen is you'll have some adhesive that kind of pulls up at the top. And grab yourself a paper towel and wipe that off right there. Okay? All right. And so what we can do, even though this is still drying, this is why I always leave this on. Leave the peg in, or the screw uncut, you would say. Because what we're going to do is now we're going to insert this into the elbow. And we need to insert that and screw that in by holding on to the screw itself. We don't want to screw this in while holding on to the plastic that has the screw in it, because if you do that, it could break. It could break the hold, because this is we just want to make sure that we're only holding on to the screw and putting this in. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and add some adhesive here to the tip of the screw here, and just kind of be careful. You need to put a little extra to make sure it hits that plastic, because you want plastic on plastic contact here. But you don't want to put like a glob of it, because if you do, it'll pull up and it'll go into the seams and you'll lock your joint. Which, if that does happen, you can fix that by cutting with a razor blade. But I'd rather not have to deal with that personally. So okay, we'll make sure the plastic touches. Before you leave this to dry, you want to make sure that this arm will go all the way around as well. Like so. Cool. Great. Okay, dynamite. Now what we want to do is leave this alone. We're going to let that dry the way it is right now. And while we're doing that, we're going to get to our chunky boy over here, which I hope this goes well. Not that I won't be fixed, but I just hope it goes well out of the gate. The only thing that has me slightly concerned is, plus we want to check this arm now since it's cooled. The only thing that has me slightly concerned is the elbow joint, as I said earlier, is that clear plastic junk. And this stuff can be really brittle, and sometimes you heat it up and it can just latch onto that screw the way you want it to, and it's great. But we'll be able to tell right away. First thing I want to check though is this shoulder again. It's one of the things I want to fix before we do anything else, because I don't want to be grabbing onto things that I've repaired and trying to pull this thing out, and we have an issue. So let's see if this will. God dang, dude. This is a problem. That is such a tight shoulder, man. It bends back. Try to bend it forward. It bends, but it's like, God dang. I'm not exactly sure. The only thing I could think of is to, like, it's, dang. That's really, really, really tight. Like, I could fix everything else, but this is, like, really giving me a problem. The only thing I could think of to do is you have to cut that shoulder out, pop it out, shave down the inside, like, piece, and then put it back in, put some glue on it. I mean, it can be done. It's just, like I said, I'm pretty positive that the one on the right is broken, but it's broken in the best possible way. That's why it's actually able to move forward and backwards. Because this disc is split I'm really not sure what else to do. This is just really, really tight, man. Like, this is gonna, like, even if you were being careful, you might accidentally, like, break it. Sorry, I'm trying to kind of have to do this off camera because I'm trying to be careful with it. Yeah, I might have to remove this shoulder. What if I could do it from the back like this, if I could pop it out without bending my freaking screwdriver. God knows how big this peg is in here. Let's see if we can heat it up a little more. Maybe if we can pop this thing out, it'd be a lot easier, because then I can cut it. Man. Yeah, this guy's a real pain. Trying to concentrate my heat in these really tiny gaps. So hopefully what we can do, oops, I want that on the ground. What we can do is we can take our screwdriver now, hopefully, we'll come in from kind of the bottom. Man, I might need a thicker screwdriver. I don't know if I have one of those nearby. These usually will do the trick, but dang. Let's heat it up a little more. Here's something else you can do as a trick. Well, we'll do this right now since this one's broken. We can take this screwdriver, kind of insert it into here. Leaves that gap. And we can heat that gap, which might work. I don't know. It's really hard to get in here because we're trying to basically heat up this plastic that is in the center without melting anything. But yeah, this is going to be a big old issue here. If we don't fix it now, it's going to be a problem later, because we could go through all this work trying to fix this elbow, and then what's going to happen is you go to try to bend it. Oh my god, this has got to be like an insanely large peg, dude. I don't want to, man, I cannot bend this. I'm not going to break this freaking screwdriver. Okay. Hey, I found my tiny screwdriver. That's a win. Oh, man, I do not have... I don't think I have anything nearby that'll pry like I'm wanting to. I can't believe that's not getting that out of there. I think what's happening, though, the problem that we're running into right now, like I said, is we're having to try to heat up this really thick plastic to get this peg done. So try to get this out. Get this done here. It's like we have to heat up everything around it just to try to get it out of there. And I'm trying so hard not to break my my lucky screwdriver here. But yeah, I really need a... I think I've got a bigger one in the... I definitely have a few more in the garage. I just don't want to bend this thing. I feel like I'm about to break my dang... I wonder if I could go in with some needle nose pliers. Like so. Those would probably be stronger. Going in like this right now. Sorry, I know this sucks. You can't see it. But I'm trying to go in from the bottom here. Oh, look. Okay, so this, now we got the bottom of this off here. So this piece came off. Cool. I don't know if that's supposed to come off. I don't know if that broke or if that's clean or what. But we can fix that too, I guess. But now, since we got him in half, I think that piece actually glues in. So I think what we just did was just pop that piece out. No, it looks like it just glues in without a peg. Shut up, Ninth. I know you can't see it. We can heat up the plastic from the inside like this now. We can kind of get all the way around it. It's one of those things where it's like, it'll be really easy to get it back in because all you have to do is heat up that spot, pop it in there. But right now, we're having to go through all this extra work just to get this dang arm out. Oh my God. This is insane. I'm at watch. So you know what's gonna happen, right? Because I'm gonna snap the peg trying to get this arm out. Oh my God. I can't believe this isn't coming out of here. Let's heat it up again. You guys are in for the long haul. I appreciate it. Gosh dang. I'm interested to see how far this peg goes in. I've got these little like marks all over my hand from where I've like gripped all these stupid spikes in the back of this guy. All right, I feel like we're getting closer here. It sucks because I can like get to the point where I'm like almost got it pried out. Come on, you bastard. Like, I don't want to bend my damn screwdriver. Okay, we're gonna have to. The struggle is real, y'all. I can see further in there though now than I could before. Come on. Ah! Ha ha! Look at the size of that peg. God dang. Look at the size of that thing. This is dude, this is like the freaking size of a quarter scale turtle. Straight up. All right, so here's the trick. Here's what we got to do. This is what happens next. While we've got this thing heated up. So we're going to go in. Personally, I like to go in from this the back side of the arm here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a razor blade, since this is pinless, right? So here's what we do. Go in through the back like this. And we're going to find where the peg is, which I can see it here. Now keep in mind, these are pinless, quote unquote, right? So what we have to do is go in like this, and we're going to cut. We're literally going to cut the peg. Be careful what you're doing here. You don't want to accidentally like cut the plastic on the outside, right? So we're just going to go ahead and slice through. This is how you have to fix. If a pinless joint needs to be split or broken, like generally this is how I fix pinless, unless it's easier like this one, which is what we would have done normally. But this guy right here has some kind of ratchet system in it. You're going to be extremely careful doing this. The reason why I'm using my screwdriver like this is because these little nooks, these little lip on a razor blade can get in the way, and it starts basically cutting into the plastic in a secondary spot. You don't want that. Okay, we're almost all the way through here. Now what you can do is you can twist the blade sometimes. See if we can't grab this piece here. Carefully bend it backwards if you can. Okay, cool. So we got that here. What you want to do now is twist the blade around like so, keeping it in place. Keeping it in place. It's always best not to cut towards yourself, because you could hurt yourself. So let's see if we can't. It looks like it's not hitting there. Let's see if we can't. There we go. And we're going to get right up to the edge here. We're not going to go past this. This is looking good. Cut's looking good and even. Make sure that we go all the way through it. Let's see how far we've gotten so far. We're going to open this up a little bit. We're almost all the way through. I could almost see it. So we have to kind of go back through here like this. Basically what we're going to have to do is find a way to just kind of get this to go down a little further, but we can't go too far because we don't want to cut this right here. So usually what will happen is, and this kind of works out for your benefit, but you'll end up with like this small little like lip of plastic from the pin, and that actually will help you reattach this. Okay, so what we've done now is we've almost cut through the peg completely. I'm interested to see what this is going to look like. So here's what you do. You can take your, like either your pliers or anything else, open up a spot like that for it, and then you should be able to kind of like kind of grip the blade like this. We're going to carefully put this in right here. What I like to do is, if I can, carefully, I'm just kind of carefully pushing that down real slowly. It's hard because you can't really get a good grip on here. I'm just going to push it down real slow. See how close we are now? Just a little bit more. Dude, it's... I wonder if you can see that. Oh. So this is where we are, right there. Trying to show you so you can kind of get an idea as to how thick this thing is. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. So that bit of white down there in the very bottom, it's just like a little sliver that needs to be kind of broken free. Which, what we'll do now is we'll heat it up one more time, because our heat's kind of running out on us. And then we're going to break this guy free. We're going to sand it down a little bit. And I'll show you what's going on. See the problem. We can actually see the problem itself. All right. Let's go ahead and take our pliers one more time. Take our razor blade. One more time. Bring it all the way down. And the heat should make this a little easier to cut through. I think that might have been it. Almost. Gosh dang, I can't get to the very bottom of it. Let's see. There we go. Okay, now that we've got this plugged in here, we can actually carefully go through and cut like so. And I can see it getting cut. One little piece. Bop. That's it. All right, we're through. Now we're going to take our flathead. We're going to come in from the bottom of this side here. All right. I'm going to carefully come up from the top. See if we can't bend this bottom back. I'll just keep using these stronger pieces right here. Might have to heat this up again, actually, since it's so thick. Like, this is crazy. But trust me, once we get this out, it should be way easier. Everything goes back in fairly easy. And I bet you're wondering how I'm going to get this back in. I'll show you. It's fairly simple. If you are wondering, it is fairly simple. If you're not, congratulations. Okay, we need to get this thing out though first, right? God, slippery little jerk. God, usually these will open up a little easier for you. This part right here is giving us the trouble again. Okay. Pop it up from the back a little bit, maybe. Just don't want to stab my hand. This feels like a hand stabbing job. I don't want that kind of job. I don't like those jobs. See if we can get this in here. God, it's so awkward. Okay, so now we've got this in here gripped. I'm going to heat it up again. I mean, this is a real monster. Hey, Mitch is in here. What's up, Mitch? Thanks for showing up, man. This stream is going way long. We found some issues in here that I didn't expect. And, of course, you know, it wouldn't be a good stream if it just went smoothly. All right, so we're going to keep a grip on this peg here. We're going to pry up this from the bottom. While gripping the peg here. Look how thick this peg is. I mean, this is nuts, dude. Come on. Come on. Ugh. Go. Let go of it. All right. So we did get out. Now we did end up with a little tiny tear right here, but that's not gonna be a problem. Once this heats up, we can put a little dab of super glue right there. It'll heal itself. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about that at all. All right. So here we go. That was the biggest hard part. Here's the weird thing. This is not a ratchet. The only seams it has are right here along the sides. Oh, it is a ratchet, but it's like their seams are like, it's like the notches are along the side here. Yeah, all right. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're going to. God dang, I'm gonna have to take a photo of this. This is nuts. Like, if somebody else runs into this issue, I have to have proof of this. This is too crazy to not have the proof. I mean, dang, look at the size of that thing. God, I almost broke my hand getting that thing out. Okay, so what we got to do now is, I'm really surprised that this is not a ratcheted system. It's just a rounded hole. Looks like it's a little warped slightly, but other than that, oh, weird. Dude, there's so many bubbles in this plastic. It's ridiculous. It is crazy. Oh man, I don't think. I wonder if you see those little gleams in there, like right here by my thumb. See that little gleam? It's a bubble. There's like tons of bubbles in it. Wow, man, that's just. Mm. Okay, and also here's something I noticed. So while looking in, I don't know if you could tell, but like, see, there's almost like an outer ring or inner ring, pardon, inside right there on the edge. When you look here, can't see it. So technically, this side right here is actually smaller. So the hole starts larger and goes smaller, and which means the small part goes here. You could see it. Look at this. Well, while this is shut, look how big it gets on this side. Even while it's shut, look how big that is and how small it is right there. Like, what? Okay, that's good to know. So whenever you're putting it back in, the small side goes in. No, that's why it was so hard to get in the first place. Um, Dude, yeah, but that's the thing, Jesse. I've seen ratcheting on that, like on the think of Marvel icons, the larger figures, Goliath. All of those have those insane hips. The original build a figure Apocalypse has the worst ratchet hips ever, and I mean ever. This is clear plastic, Mitch, but there's definitely bubbles inside of it. There are definitely bubbles. Like, I've got to take a photo. It's like too. That's too nuts. Sorry, this is like kind of a learning experience for me too here. I've never had to do this. This turned into a real something. I'm trying to see if I can get a good photo of it. It's nuts how many bubbles are in here. I mean, there is at least five. At least five. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jeez. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna eliminate the ratchet system on here, and we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna sand this down a little bit. Because the arm feels tight enough. So we're just going to sand these down a little bit. This whole thing feels warped. All right. That should do it. It's just a little bit of work that needed to be done there, I believe. That should do it. I just want to make sure before we go back through all the trouble to put this thing back on that it's going to be worth it and that we don't have to take it back out. All right. So now that we've sanded this down a bit on the inside and on the out, we're going to make sure that we pop this in the right way. This is going to be tough, man, because like I said, this thing goes out like that. So I have to bring it in from this top side and pop it in. Smaller side on this side. Now, keep in mind, we cut it. This is the back piece. So the back piece is actually larger, okay? So we're going to go in where the cut's at with the small side down, all right? That pops on here. Okay, we really got to heat this thing up. Here we go. So this is kind of a two-step process here. What we got to do is heat it up really good, pop that in, then we'll have to heat it up again, and we'll add a dab of super glue in the center for that seamless peg. And that's how I fix seamless pegs. Now this one's giant, so it's really hard to mess up. But the smaller ones, you have to be very careful. Usually what I have to do is clamp them shut and then continually move the peg back and forth so that the glue doesn't lock inside of the mechanism. And that's how that works. So we're going to heat the crap out of this thing, man. We got to make sure that it's nice and heated up, because if it's not, this thing is going to be really hard to get in there. We also want to be mindful of that little tear that happened on the side there, which, like I said, it's not going to be a problem. But we don't want to make it any worse if we can avoid it, which is going to be hard, because that's the only way you can get this thing out is by heating it up, opening this thing up. All right, let's see what we got here. See how good this is. Oof, that's not what I want. I'm going to hold. So here's a trick. It's basic knowledge, but hold on to it with the pliers so you can get the whole thing evenly heated instead of holding on to it with your hand, like I was doing. Not where I was getting heated up, but, you know, this helps. Pretty sure. I'm not going to say it. If I say it, I'll ruin it. I'll jinx it. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope not everybody's having like a fix and evolve figure kind of day. It's a tough one. Okay, so once again, what I'm going to do is open this up here with my pliers. We're going to go ahead and kind of, God, we have to be super careful with this part right here. I don't want to tear that piece any more than we already have. Okay, and so now we have to somehow get this thing to press in, which is why we heated it up so good. All right, come on. Come on. Get in. Like, I feel like we're going to have to, like, press this in here. I hope it goes in, man. It's getting hung up on something. I bet it's that back piece like I told you about. That usually will help, but it looks like it might be hindering. Oh, wait, there it went. Just had to push it in a little further. Sorry, guys. Kind of falling out of frame with you. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Everybody in. God, my hands are getting wrecked here, dude. Okay, come on. carefully. Like right now, I'm just pressing down with this these pliers to try to get all of the peg in the top to just kind of insert itself. And oh my God, my hands are a wreck right now. Come on. Come on. Come on, Goliath. Whew, man. Okay. Ow. God dang. See if I can get a little twist out of it here. Trying to go in like this. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not what I wanted at all. All right, let's heat this up again because I want to make this a little easier on myself. This is wrecking my hands, guys. All we got to do is get this top part heated up, pressed in, and I think we'll be on our way to the races here. All right, let's see what happens here. See if we can get this little piece in the back. I can see a little piece needed some help. All right, there we go. A little more malleable at this point. Get a little plastic in there, a little plastic in there. There we go. Come on. All the way. All the way. I feel like we're just gonna have to force this guy in. Like, it sucks. Any minute this thing's gonna just go pop in. I'm sure of it. It's like you have to press and then push up. Press and then push up. I'm trying to see if I can't get it to twist. I feel like I should have shaved off a little more on here. Come on. Come on, big guy. There it went. Oh, Jesse, I hope you send that over one day. You have to, like, find a trip to Texas or something like that so you can drop it off. Look at this. All right. So, final thing that we have to do here. We've got to fix this. Like I said, we did get a little rip in the seam here, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. Heat, like what you'll do with that is you'll heat it up. You open it a little bit. You put a little super glue in it. And you shut it like that. And plus, this thing's all banged up, so you won't even know in the sculpt. Okay, so what we're going to need to do right here, we're going to heat this up one more time right now. Not really close to Austin, but every now and then me and my buddy Anthony will take a trip to Austin, so not out of the cards. It's a good 4 hours, I think. All right, so what I said, we're going to heat this up. Let's see if we can't do two birds in one stone with this guy right here. All right, so we got it nice and heated up. We're going to take our JB Super Weld, right? You're going to open it up, and we're going to put just a nice dab in the middle. You don't want to go crazy because whenever you press this closed, it is going to spread. I'm going to try to put a little bit here in this seam where the old monster got a little dinged up, and then while that's drying real fast, we'll wipe that away so it doesn't stay on this outside. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to close it like this, right? Okay, we're going to keep this closed, and what I'm going to do, and I'll have to show this to you, hang on a second. I've got a little vise over here, right? And so So while this is cooling, I press it in the vise. All right. Watch this. Let's see if this will. I have to do it upside down here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. Oh, there we go. So right here is where it's at. This is the vise, right? And these little pieces right here are those little sliders you put on furniture. So I put them on either side of the vise, so whenever you clamp it shut, this is clamping the monster's arm. And so what's going to happen here is that's going to dry, and it'll keep that stuff nice and tight, like tightly gripped in there. All right. So that's going to take a little bit. We're going to let that dry. For those of you who just really want to see something finished today, we can show you do this. So check this out. So you take, this is for our Hellwitch figure. We can actually finish something today. Yeah, Action Force. Oh boy. We're gonna take our good wire cutters here, bolt cutters, and they never, these pieces never fly off like that with these, but these actually, I think this is, since this is the medium one, the medium screw, I think we can actually clip it with the end clippers here. Yeah, you want to try to get this clipped as close as you can to the end of the peg. So, yeah, Aaron Hardy. Yeah, Texas is huge. It's always funny, like, oh, you're in Texas. You might be near my uncle. And it's like, no. Even if your uncle's near me, he's not near me. It's like, it's not going to happen. Yeah, this place is huge. All right, so since we clipped the end off of here, now what we're going to do is we're going to sand this down. I always recommend when sanding screw bits, put on your safety goggles. You never know where pieces of little tiny metal are going to go flying. And we're going to slightly sand this down a little bit. I like to come in and kind of angle it just a little more. So this is my bigger sanding bit. And you want to be careful though too. You don't want to sit there and just hang on to that piece. If you do that, it'll heat up that screw, and it could potentially break the hold that you have with your adhesive. Even after it's dried, you know, that's a hell of a conductor right there for heat. So you have to be careful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a smaller sanding bit. It's a tiny little guy right here. It's not super tiny, but it's a little smaller than normal. And what I can do is we take this, right? I'm going to sand it like so. I'm going to make sure that it's nice and clean. Because what can happen whenever you're messing around with it with the pliers and also inserting a screw, you got to keep in mind that you're putting, even though you're drilling a hole into it, the screw can still expand the plastic, right? So the last thing you want to do is insert this in there and the plastic is too expanded. It messes up your figure. You don't want that. It messes up your repair, really. And I'm going to sand this down a little more. I don't want it to be too tight in there to where it breaks the hold. I'm going to sand it down a little more. And kind of cut this in here a little bit. Just a little more. I always like to do the final touches here. Let's go in like this to make sure that the piece is going to have a nice edge on it. And one more around. All right. Happy with that. Let's test it. Feels really solid. Feels really solid. I'm very happy with this. Okay. So now we're going to have to heat up Hellwitch's arm. Let me take a quick snap of this that it's now ready to go back in. Great. Let's heat up her arm. Doesn't take much, and like I said, be really careful when heating up these figures in particular, because like I said, they have this little lip, this elbow lip, and if you heat that up too much, it could warp it, and you don't want that. And since these aren't meant to come out either, what I like to do sometimes is I can take a kind of a screwdriver or drill bit. There could have been something in here that caused that to like get caught or snap. And so a lot of times you can just kind of take a smaller drill bit like that. Kind of knock out some of the junk that might be in there. And then let's see if this guy goes. All right. Let's see. I think I might want to drill a little bit deeper in. I think my peg might be just slightly longer. And since these aren't meant to be removed, there's no harm in doing that. In fact, it'll give us a probably a better grip anyways. It looks good, but it doesn't look perfect. So all we got to do in order to make that happen is we take a tiny, tiny, tiny burr bit. Insert it here. Get out just a little bit of that plastic. Not comfortable with that yet. It's a little tight. We're going to widen this hole just a little bit. Like I said, these pegs were insanely small. Like I don't trust them to be that small. Okay. Let's try this. There we go. Nice and flush. Here's factory. Kind of got a bit of a gap right there. And then we can replicate that if we need to a little back. But I like that. That looks good. Maybe it's the, oh, there we go. That's why. It was a upside down. There we go. It's weird, like the elbows like bend a little different on each one. They're like Mezco elbows almost. They get that weird hinge. All right, let's go ahead and put her back together if we can. Pop this head on, and then chest. It's very weird. Boom. All right, cool. Hellwitch, done. Okay, now, oh my gosh, it is 4 o'clock, guys. This is 2 hours long at this point. I don't know. I don't want to like overdo it on the stream today. 4 hours is a long time. We ran into a big fat issue with this guy here. I guess I could keep going. You don't make any money from these streams anyway, so it's like it doesn't really matter. I've noticed like if you want money from YouTube, so this is just like a little hint for you guys. You need to be putting up like videos. Like the live streams hardly do anything. I guess that's why they have super chats and stuff like that, is because I don't know. So it doesn't really, I guess the length used to bother me. I'm like, all right, do I need to keep this short or whatnot? And I guess it doesn't really matter. So here's what we'll do. So I have some screws here, but I think these are a little too small. So let's see if we got some larger ones. Oh man, I think, oh, nope, never mind, dang. These are just a little too big or too small. Let's see. We need one just a little larger. And we need two of the exact same size. Ooh, these look good. These look strong too. Might have to shave it down a little bit, but damn, those are really big. I don't think I need to go that large. Jeez. Let's see. So what we do here in this situation is we take a peg and we compare it. It looks like these were balls, like ball pegs, which is really strange. I don't know why you would put. That doesn't make sense to me. Let's check out the old box of screws. Alright. So what we want, we're going to sift through these a little bit. Oh, this guy looks wonderful, actually. Oh yeah, this would be perfect if I got another one of these in here. That'd be amazing. Oh. Bam! Man, look at these guys. Wonderful panhead screws, man. Oh, gotta love a panhead screw. And it looks like it might have just enough threading to make this hopefully a little less painless. So what we'll do is we're going to find ourselves a drill bit that's smaller than our threading. Like, this is pretty perfect, actually. Like, the threading should be wider than the screw. You know what I mean? So let's try this. Let's give this a shot. What we're going to do here is, since our guy is all taken apart here, we're going to, let's see how far we can go in this guy. Looks pretty far. Let's see. So we're going to drill a hole straight through here. God, look at that. It's like mozzarella cheese. God, it's nuts. Okay, chill. I have to hold on to it. Alright. I think these are going to work just fine. Looks like we can drill in pretty far on this too. We're going to keep it in the center. Alright. And I bet I wouldn't be surprised if we can drill directly into this stuff, like directly in. Let's see what we got here. So we're going to take this. Okay, so there is a little bit of the trick to these screws. I've used these before. They have a flat end on them, so you kind of gotta, at the front here, kind of get them started a little bit. Just go in a little bit. Just kind of widen out the top. You don't have to widen out the whole thing, just the top to get them started. I am going to kind of go through this one more time just because there's some junk in the way. God, this plastic just flies off. Dirty. Okay, so we're going to take this, like I said, to get this thing started. Take this one here, get this started, and let's see how far we can go in before it stops. It'd be awesome, man. The best is whenever you can insert these screws in and you don't have to clip them. That always is wonderful, but we'll see. Oh man, I think it's gonna be perfect. Is it still moving? Yeah, it is. Heck yeah, dude. Oh man. Cool, yeah. I could see like they've got like those barbell hips in there. And I was hoping that I didn't drill into them. I didn't think I did. Okay. This might work really well. So you can see here, this is where these were before. So really all we need this to do is to get to the point of like the match the circumference on this guy, really. So let's see what happens here. Looks like we can just, oh sheesh, let's see, what do we got left? Okay, this is the left one. Great. And I'll pop in there, and that should be it. I wouldn't be surprised if this knocks it out right away. Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to heat this up. Wow, that figure held worse than game, which is shocking. Yeah. Cool looking monster, though. I like the monster. I like how it's simple, but not too bad. Take a picture of this real quick. Kind of showing people what's going on here. God, my hand's like shaking now. It's like, oh man, that was a rough one a minute ago. Getting this thing out was nuts. Let me grab this razor blade. Here's a little trick as well. Anytime you're going to put a screw in, and I think I showed this off in my spring Leonardo deal, is my tutorial, is you bring in your razor blade like this. You just kind of cut around the edges. Like so. And it gets rid, like, while keeping the screw there, it can also get rid of like any excess junk. And what happens is, what can happen is like kind of builds like a little mound right in the bottom. And that's what you don't want, because you're wanting this to fit as flush as possible. And if that stuff is there, what that can do is basically cause it to gap up, I guess you would call it. And you don't want that. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to test it. All right, we're going to start with just the left leg, and we're going to heat this up. We're just going to see if this will pop on flush. Okay. I'm going to heat this up. It is a thick piece of plastic again, so see what happens here. And we're doing this before we glue in the screw, just to make sure it's going to have the right tension and that the screw's not too far in or too far out. All right, that should be good enough to just press this guy in. Once again, it says the left, match them up. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so see right there, it's a good fit, but it could be tighter. So that's why we test. So let's go ahead and put this in a little further. About 2 twists. Now look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect. So I can see where that's at. This one's obviously too far out now, and I'm going to match this on this side. Okay. And so what you can do here is, while this one's at the perfect distance in, we're going to take out this one. All right. Take out this one. And we're going to hit this with some of our JB Super Weld. I'm going to give it a good amount because we don't want this thing to twist off at any point, which I don't think it will, but let's just make sure that it doesn't. Okay. Get on the edge here. Nice all around. That's a good amount. All right, so now we want to carefully reinsert this. And we're going to match the distance of this guy here. Hoping that Funko did get that right, is the distance for these guys here. That's looking pretty great. It's about, man, about a 1/9 or 1/10 of an inch stuck out of there. Go a little tighter with that. And then, as always, take your piece of paper towel and run it along the bottom of this, because you will get some glue, excess glue right there. Let's just make sure that's all taken care of. I'm going to go one more twist. The glue kind of was misleading, made me a little magic eye thing going on here. All right, cool, perfect. All right, so now we're going to take this guy back out. We're going to hit it with some more JB Super Weld, found in either the craft or the plumbing section of your local Walmart or on Amazon. Okay, now we've got our JB Super Weld on here. Let's go ahead and carefully, once again, insert this into here. Let's match that perfect distance that we mapped out earlier. A little more. It's a little misleading, the glue that's under it. You can, like, kind of throws off the distance there sometimes. All right, great. So these are done. We just need to let these cool. The other thing that we had to do, keep in mind, we're not even done yet, was the elbow. So what we're going to do with the elbow is basically what we did with Hellwitch. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drill a hole in here. And what we need to do, though, is what we kind of did here as well. We need to find something that's going to match this. Now, this is a pretty freaking thick peg. This is crazy. There's two things we could do here. One is to drill a hole through this guy, insert a screw, and then put it back on here, which is something that I generally would like to do. It makes me slightly nervous if these are softer plastic, but this is hard plastic. So I'm going to give it a go, and we're going to see if that works, because the harder plastic generally will slide easier along the plastic cavity that's inside of that. So with a softer plastic, you have more of a chance of it to bend and break and stuff like that, because there's more friction in that softer on. It's basically soft plastic on soft plastic. So what we're going to do is we are going to take the drill bit I used earlier, the smaller one. This is a 1 mil. I think this is a 1 mil. Hang on, let me double check. I don't want to make sure I'm telling you wrong. 1.1. So 1.1 mil. All right. That's right. I needed to step up from 1 to make sure this, it fits these screws perfectly that I use. That 1.1, just that extra 0.1 mil really goes a long way. I'm going to test it, make sure that our drill bit's in the right way. All right, and just like earlier, so here's a fun fact. Messing with this kind of plastic is finicky. This clear plastic, because what it does is it heats up. It heats up and it can just like really grip your drill bit and whatnot, and it can be misleading. Like, you can drill a hole and pull it out, and then, I don't know, either something happens with the heat or whatnot, and then you run into this issue where you try to insert your screw and it feels like it's going in, but all of a sudden there's like more friction. You're like, oh, I'll keep going, and it'll break your screw off inside of there. This stuff can get, like, it grips. It also breaks easily off if there's a bubble inside of it, which apparently happens a lot with this stuff. Like I said, I've been seeing this for over a decade, if not 2 decades now, with DC Direct, and I thought this stuff was gone, but Funko brought it back, and I'm sure there's some other companies out there that are trying to get away with using this stuff. I can't stand it. I hate this plastic, but sometimes it'll repair well. So let's see what happens here. We're gonna take this piece and we're gonna drill in and keep it in the center. And so what I do is I kind of go in a little bit and I back out because, like I said, I can feel it. This stuff gets hot. So you want to be really careful. Back up. Go in a little further. Push. Back out. Push. A little back out. And what that does is it's going to help keep your drill bit intact. And it's also going to not going to allow this to like heat up that much to where it literally starts melting. And you're dealing with an issue. So we'll go back in. You notice it's almost like I'm having to do it for the first time. We're basically just creating a cavity right now. And so we're going to go back through the other side, which this is where our screw is going to go in. Basically, what I'm trying to do right now is get rid of any of this junk. And you can see, hopefully you can see, look at this plastic is just like chipped. And some of this is like the heat that pulled this stuff out. I was drilling here. This is how much came out. Mitch Falcon, DC Direct made one of my favorite figures with my least favorite piece of articulation. Do tell. I'm interested in what that is, and I'm interested in all that. If you don't mind sharing, I'd like to hear from the mighty Mitch. All right, right now, gosh, sorry guys, I keep going off camera. I really need to put this here, maybe. That'll be better. I'm going through and I'm cutting any of that plastic that popped up. And you'll see, like, here's our hole. So what we got to do again, after cutting. You guys wonder why there's not a lot of people out there repairing toys. This is why. This is how long it can take to repair something that, once again, it's not about the money, but in this world, you know, a lot of people want to know, and a lot of people have asked, they're like, oh man, it must be awesome to like make money like fixing your figures. And I'm like, I mean, honestly, I don't make that much. I make just enough really to like have to pay taxes on it. So I'm not making that much when it comes down to it. And even after this stream, I'll be doing a patron chat, which of course we're already running late, so I do apologize, guys. Okay. All right, so we're going to use the super strong eye hooks on this one. These are longer and stronger. These guys right here. And this looks like it might have just enough to go all the way through without straightening it right away. We'll straighten it in a minute. It's just nice to be able to push this through while holding on to the factory hook. So we're gonna do this. And so yeah, I can already feel that it's too tight. It's just way too tight. So we got to go back through with our 1 mil here. We're gonna heat this up. It's like I carefully kind of move around, right? Very carefully, because you don't want to break it. It's the last thing you want to do. And how it'll trick you is, since it's going in, when you're inserting it in here and here, it's like the middle is the last part that seems to get the widest. Because obviously if you're moving the drill bit like this, you're going to get wider at the ends and not so much in the center like a seesaw. So you just have to be really careful and take your time. guys. Take your time. Now, this right here might actually go all the way through without breaking, but I just still don't trust it a lot of times. I can feel how strong, like, it's getting so tight right now that I just don't trust that. I don't trust it at all. For some reason, this clear plastic stuff, and this stuff has tricked me on multiple occasions. I was like, oh, I got this thing fixed. I go in to put it in, and it's after all this work, it snaps the freaking drill bit. The worst. Okay. And all you got to do is keep trying, guys. Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. 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 Stay vigilant. Stay diligent. Stay vigilant. And stay patient. Man, that is really tight. It's like super tight. I don't want to break the screw. I don't want to even... it's not even worth testing that out. Carefully. Back it out. So we're almost there. We're almost all the way through. Like I said, you just got to keep on. This is the monotonous part of this whole thing, man. Like I said, this is how it goes. We'll go back in through this side. It just kind of blows my mind a lot of times, like how tricky this is. Sometimes it can just really pull a fast one on you. Okay, there we go. That's feeling good. Let's bring it to the end. We just need this to creep out the edge. Man, is it still tight? Is it still tight? Huh. It's like, it's super weird, man. I don't know. This plastic always throws me off. I can only assume it's going to be a good hold, though. It's not splitting, which is great. This stuff doesn't... it's funny. It doesn't tend to split in the sides. For some reason, like down the center here, it just wants to... it heats up, and then it cools down, and it like just wants to... it's like alien. It like reforms itself. It's a real odd plastic. I won't lie. Like, this is some of the weirdest plastic I've ever experienced. In all my years of doing this, it's always the worst. Okay, man, we had to make a much larger hole. I think that's got it, but I'm not about to risk all of that time and work only to find out that it's going to break off our screw. So let's go ahead and... because technically you should be able to do this with your bare hands. You grip it with this guy. Generally, you shouldn't have to use another pair of pliers, but man, it is just getting stuck. It's trying to embarrass me, and it's not going to happen. I'm not going to let you win. All right, we're going to just go through it again. Okay, one more time. So what I'm kind of doing right now is I'm going through, kind of basically wiggling this drill bit, kind of shifting it around like so, and then I'll pull back and then kind of shift it around again, push it through, and it's just like you're trying to like kind of carve out the interior of this. Without breaking your drill bit, of course. Probably should have used a 1.2 drill bit on this one, but What are you going to do? I'm assuming we'll get this done today. I haven't had a stream this long, guys, in a very long time. So I appreciate the ones who stuck around. I appreciate the ones who dropped in. And I appreciate the ones who haven't found me yet. Because you're out there doing something too. I know you are. All right, that's feeling good. That's feeling good. Okay, cool. We did have to use some pliers there at the end, but I think this is going to do us just fine. So we're going to take this out. Okay. And we want to be careful with this one. Like I said, there is a little tension in here, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. You know when it's too tight. And if you don't know, then it's too tight. So here we go. So we're going to grip this here. All right. I'm going to take our pliers. And we're going to start straightening this out. Actually, this works way better with these stronger pliers. Works better on my hands, too. There we go. Look at that. Boom. Bring it straight. A little straighter. Come on. There we go. Come on. All right. Let's bring it down a little bit here. Because this is where things can get really tricky. Okay. Now, a lot of times I'll tell you, like, it doesn't matter if it's, like, perfectly straight. On a situation like this, you want to make sure this thing's as straight as you can, like, get it. Because, like I said, there's a little bit of tension in there, right? Yes, Ninth Archer, that is correct. You are just nasty. Sorry, that just sounded funny. I had to tell you. Oh, look, Ninth. I wanted to show you this. This is something my buddies got for me a long time ago. When Baron Benz had hit, my friend Clayton actually won a Baron Benz from a Mezco contest. It was that really cool one, the one in the black tectonic armor or whatever, the one that I think is the better of the two. Anyways, he got him in, and he got the Baron Benz head in, and so they sent it off to Corey, and Corey cast it, and check this out. This looks like you and me, like, when we're all grumpy. Isn't that cool? Casting cave paint job, too. Jesus, dude is a master. Okay. Let's go ahead, and next, we have to drill a hole in this guy. Now, we did move this earlier. Remember, it moved for us, so that was good. Let's go ahead, and we're going to take our same drill bit, and we're going to try to drill directly in the center, okay? Just like we did with Hellwitch. And we're going to have the same issue we had with, like, just a minute ago with this, because you got to go back in and back out. Remember, this stuff... But you don't have to get as crazy, because once this starts going in, it'll be awesome. I mean, once you start screwing the screw in, it should fit really well. But you'll notice this stuff kind of rides up on you here, so you kind of got to slice it off with a razor and then come back in again. Or you can sand it with a sanding bit. I don't know how deep this piece goes, honestly. So what I'll do is I'll grab another one of these stronger, same size pieces, and we'll insert that a little bit in here. And what we'll do, we'll pretend this is our peg. If it'll go in, we might need to widen the hole a little bit. Should be fine though. And then we can look. Now we can move it. Check it out. We should be able to move it. Man, it's really snug. That makes me nervous. Oh, Army Builder. I love it. Thanks, Mitch. You're the best. You're the best, Mitch. Hey, Mitch, do you know any other mods that would I need to find somebody. I need to do a call out in my Discord to see if I can get a mod for these Sunday streams, because it'd be great to have somebody who knows what they're doing with this stuff. Even I need to learn what better. It sucks though. This is like such a weird stream, right? This is a niche stream. Like how it's hard to communicate with you guys. Like I got to keep talking the whole time, which isn't a problem. My mouth doesn't ever shut up. Neither does my brain. But I like to interact with you guys, and I feel like I miss so much. It warms my heart to see like the chat going, that you guys are able to get along, that you guys are able to entertain yourselves and talk, and then you look up and see me just messing around. So it's tough because I don't get to reach over and, hey, here's a link, or hey, here's this, or whatnot. The only time that ever happens is if I have a guest on. I tried one time, I believe it was with me and Ori, and also probably me and Corey, to like work while we're talking. Now, Dave Wheeler is a different beast. That guy, he gets 4 people on or 3 people on. He's just able to focus, focus, focus. I've got so much intricate stuff that I've got going on here. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I just, for my brain, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, no, Mitch, I wouldn't ask that of you. That's too much. But I do, I think, I don't know. I think a mod might help. Maybe step it up a little bit. I don't know, but in the case like this, I would hate it if somebody was like, oh yeah, I'll do it, and it's hours on a Sunday, and it's also like I don't know, I don't make enough on this to pay people, so that sucks. So it's like, oh, good, that's incentive, but no, I don't know. I've been trying to think of different things. There's a lot of stuff that I've wanted to do for years, man. I told you guys probably 2 years ago, I was like, I got a big plan coming, and I do have a big plan coming. I just haven't got there yet. I end up running into all of this, man. I instead, it's repair figures, or try to hang out with my wife a little bit. It's always nice to hang out with the one you love the most. We work together during the day. Now, keep in mind, guys, as we call it, me and my wife call it, this is my paid hobby, because I do get paid to do this. This right here, to me, honestly, with YouTube, it's free. I haven't got paid for YouTube in like a year. The live streams don't bring in anything. But I enjoy doing it. I do it for you guys. I do it for me too. It's not just for y'all. Don't think I'm, that giving. But no, I do. That's why I do it. I love interacting with you guys. I love the crowd that shows up here. The support is insane, and honestly, I do. I love you guys. From the bottom of my heart, it's really cool. It sounds weird and it sounds fake, but I do. You guys know who you are. I've talked to many of you inside and outside of the chat, and these live streams, and it's like a small family, man. It sounds stupid, but I don't have a family really. I've got like, everybody's got family. I've got like 3 or maybe 4 members of my family that I talk to. Like, both my parents are gone. I have one grandparent left. Love him. I talk to him all the time. I have like a cousin or 2 that I really love, like enjoy, but I don't ever get to see them. And then that's it. That's it, man. So you guys are, when it comes, I don't have kids. Probably won't have kids. So it's whatever. Oh, Nico, thank you for the super chat, man. If if you ever want a super chat or stuff like that, you can always join the Patreon. It's not expensive as far as that, but I mean, it is monthly, but I mean, you can cancel it. It's more of the proceeds go to me, to the Toychanic deal. That's where I put the money into. That's why I have a better microphone now for this. I don't use it for anything else. This is for you guys. I got a better camera that I bought for like maybe $60. I'm frugal when it comes to this stuff. I try to be smart about it. And yes, I do have a collection that I buy. That's how, like, a lot of my Toychanic money from the repairs goes towards, hey, I can buy some stuff. It's kind of cool. Like, every now and then I'll buy, obviously I have a job as well and stuff like that. But man, I don't know. I can see how, like, it's kind of weird to ask people to join the Patreon. I'm getting, I guess, used to it, because now it feels more like Like I just say it and it's like a script almost, but um, it's just a way to support the Toychanics stuff if you want, and if you don't, there's no, and if you start supporting and you leave, it's okay. Like there's nothing like that. You know, there's no malice or anything. I just appreciate all you guys. But honestly, man, instead of like the super chats, and I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong at all. Don't think that I'm saying anything bad. But if you would rather have money go to me and the Toychanic stuff, then Patreon takes out a hell of a lot less than YouTube. That's probably why I don't get paid anymore, is because I say this on here. They're like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like them saying that stuff. Anyways, just so you know, if you've like got creators that you follow on YouTube and they have a Patreon, and you're thinking about giving them a super chat, instead message them and be like, hey, I just joined your Patreon instead. And trust me, it means a lot, and so do the super chats. They mean, all of this stuff means a lot, but it's one of those things where it's like, man, you can do a lot. You can do a lot more with it. It's crazy, but I appreciate you guys. And I'm trying to do more for the Patreon, but there's just like, I get it. You know, it's not like the 3D printing guys who, I don't know how much theirs are, like Orbis and stuff like that. You get something, which is really cool, man. Like, that's got to be amazing. To be able to give your people something, and I would love to do that. That's why I got these stickers, man. I know it's just a sticker, but it's something just to say, hey, thanks, you know. Appreciate that. Here's a little something. I've got some masks that I do. These are my masks that are 3D printed, and that put them on figures and stuff like that. Those go to like my Illuminati guys. And those are actually up for, you can buy those if you want, but I don't think anybody wants to buy them anymore. But either way, and sometimes I'll give those out with a really good repair job. And when I mean like a good paying repair job, I'm like, hey, here's a mask. I know it's something. It's not much, but it's something. But anyways, that's my spiel. And I've inserted the screw in here. I actually tried to back it out a little bit because I think I put it in too far. So we'll see. We'll see if this can, because the last thing I want to do is to screw this in and it like not, you know, work. Actually, what we can do, let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, since we got this in, and it was a good fit, by the way. This fit very, very well. Let's see here. If I can go this far in without it hitting the edge. If this moves backwards, I'm going to be surprised. Oh, I'm surprised. Wow. Huh. Let's see how far I can push this. Oh my gosh. Okay, very happy. Holy crap. Oh, wow, it's a good fit too. All right, this is awesome. This is really awesome. Dang, this stuff is taking to the adhesive incredibly well. I can't remember the last time I actually fixed something with this clear plastic. And man, I don't think I've used the JB Weld on this stuff in forever, so this is really cool. Nico Hodge, by the way, thank you again. I'm sorry I went off on that spiel. It sounds like I feel like I'm disrespecting you by saying, hey, I'd rather you do the Patreon, but I feel like you would feel better about stuff like that. I love the super chats. I think they're cool. They pop up right there, but you know, I would rather, if you want to support me, go that route, because you'll get extra updates on stuff like that. The whole Discord video chats, stuff like that. Not to mention, like, you get, like I said, I get more. It's not trying to be greedy. It's just like trying to, I'm like, doesn't YouTube make enough? Don't they? I don't know. And Patreon is now introduced like the video option. So you can do like exclusive videos in there, which is really cool. I haven't done it yet, but it sounds fun. I'd like to do that. I just need more time with you guys, honestly. My job is very demanding. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world, but my real job is I have way more responsibilities than I ever have. I run a media department at a healthcare company, and it's growing and it's busy. All right, so boom. Look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? Oh, I can't believe how good that fits. Man. Yeah, that turned out real good. Great. Okay, so next thing we do with this is we're going to... I think we're done with all the glue. How about that? I'm going to wait as long as I can to check that other arm, but I think it's going to be great. So once again, we're going to take this and clip it. Gosh dang, guys. Thanks for hanging in here today. Appreciate it. Really do. Oh man, that freaked me out. I thought there was glue hanging out on the side here. It wasn't. Or not glue, it was glue. The light was hitting the glue, and I thought it was, I could see the screw, and I was like, what? It didn't make contact? No, it's good. Made me really nervous. All right, bam, photo taken. Great. Next up, we're going to clip this guy with our bolt cutters. It's a winky. There we go. All right, now we got to put on our magic glasses. And we're going to sand this. Now, here, I'm going to sand this down with the Dremel 4000 with the grip. This will make it faster. Sorry, this will be loud. Actually, I could probably mute this. Hang on. Somebody out there appreciated that. Somebody who turns into the middle of a stream or near the end, they're like, God, what is that? Boing! It sounds like I'm at the freaking dentist. Okay, so now we have that all cleaned up and shaved. So if that's what broke this before, what I like to do in a situation like this, proceeds to not mute. Did it not mute? 1, 2, 2. Oh my God. Hey, it didn't mute. Oh no. I wonder where this mic is coming from. That's funny. I bet it's mute. This mic isn't even on, is it? 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Yeah, look at that. It was muted. This is just a prop. It's probably just using the mic from my freaking Mac. I swear, dude, it changes. I've gone through and tried to change everything out on this on Streamlabs. Yeah, I did. I tried. See, this is why I need a mod. I can't do it. Somebody's probably like, I could turn it up a little bit. Ugh. Well, sorry guys. I thought this mic was hooked up. It's not even hooked. It's hooked up, but it's not running. Classic Maroonanigans. Maroonanigans. I love you, Chrisman. You're amazing. All right. So what we're gonna do is we take this now. We're gonna kind of sand it down a little bit. Gonna smooth it out just a little bit. Cool. Just make sure. So yeah, I'm just kind of smoothing this guy out a little bit. I don't think it expanded at all, but you never know. You just never know. I just want to make sure the interior is nice and smoothed out. All right, let's check on our arm. Let's see what happened here. So, as you can see here, this is where the split was, which was literally right there, about a 1/4 inch split from right there. But we heated it up, and then we put some glue in there and pushed it shut, and it should be good. So let's see if any, hopefully no glue got over here on this side, just in case. I'd like to double check. I wouldn't be surprised if a little bit got in here. So I want to make sure that it doesn't like cause any issues. Okay. Here is the moment of truth. God, I've been on too long. Here's the moment of truth. Here's the moment of chew. You chew it up. All right, here we go. Oh, don't tell me it locked right there. Maybe it didn't. Get a good grip. Oh, man, that feels really tight still. Are you serious? Oh, there it goes. Oh, it just locked up right there. Yeah. Much, much, much better. Still got a bit of a push to it, but it's not going to make it to that point where I was at right there. It kind of locks right here on this part. You can see that it kind of goes off center as well. That might be what that one's doing. But then as soon as you pull this up, yeah. So it got, yeah, and once you get this in there, it's going to be way easier to bend. This, I could tell a minute ago, I couldn't bend this thing at all with my hand. So we're good. Oh my gosh. For a second there, I was like, are you... We're good. I feel good about it. Oh, geez, this thing's really on here. We're almost done, guys. Bet I can be done by 5. It's 3 hours of my life. And y'all's life. No big deal. Okay, we're going to take our larger burr bit here. I'm going to kind of trim this out a little bit. It actually fits perfectly in here. Just want to make sure that whenever we do go to put our peg in there, that it's not going to be too tight to where it strips that screw out. Just keep in mind, you know, this is the factory piece, so we want this to go in nice and snug, which I wouldn't be surprised if we could actually shave this down a bit more. Any kind of anomalies I like to get out of there. All right. I'm going to heat this guy up first. We're going to heat up the arm and we're pop it in there, okay? We're almost there. What do I got? I said 5. Means I got 11 minutes to do this. So let's see what happens. Let's see if this will heat up enough. Like I said, it should be easier to push this back in, right? Yeah, at least my microphone lights up. It does work. It's just like not added in currently as a microphone, I guess. It's just using the yeah. At least the mic's good enough on the Mac, you know? So we're going to have to heat this up for a bit. And it shouldn't be too bad because we've only got to push that giant peg in here. Should be fine though. We've got easy access now to it, so that's good. Alright. I think that's going to do her. Let's get this out. It's like not going in all the way. Hang on. Heat it up a little more. Almost went on all the way. It's like stopped. "10 minutes, Turkish." Here we go. Takes a while. All right. Let's do it again. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Oh, perfect. Yes. All right. Now, I really want this to work. I don't want to mess with it too much, but should be good to go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and heat up the arm now, the elbow. We can pop that guy in. We should be on our way to almost being done. All we got to do is heat the stuff up and pop it on. The hard work's done. Now it's just time. Time and heat. All right. Let this keep going for a little bit. Make sure it's nice and heated up. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. This is our... Ooh, that sounded good. Yeah. It's actually... This one's actually tighter than this one here. Both feel really good, though. Cool. All right. Yeah. Oh, wait. Does he have a hinge? Yes. Yes. All right, cool. Let's take our legs now. Oh, my gosh. Look over. All right, we're going to do the left leg first. We're almost there. We're knocking on the door, guys. This is crazy. Wow, you played with that figure more than people played Evolve in the last 5 years. Dang, man. Slamming them. All right, this should be good. This is already left. Here we go. All right. Let's do the right leg. Up. Should be good. And now, so what happened, I think, earlier when we were heating this guy up, this piece right here, it doesn't actually have a, this is super weird. It doesn't have like a peg or anything. There's no, so it's just, it just goes into it. It just literally inserts onto there. And so this must have been glued, and then this moves, I guess. This is the only movement it has, which seems odd. Like, shouldn't it twist around? I feel like it'd be cool if like I added like, if I put like a screw head on here, and then you go in to the top here and like kind of Dremel it out a bit. I think it would add a little hinge right there, but I don't know if you even need it. Maybe it just stays on there too. I guess you could rip him in half with some effects. This is kind of cool, honestly. This is how I'd keep mine. I'll have to ask Jesse if he wants me to, because I mean it stays on. It's not going anywhere. So look at that. How about that? Our evolved monster is all done. It even poses and stands well. I wonder if he can stand on one leg. Look at that. His arm bends up. Oh man, this is a good repair, guys. Not gonna lie. Oh, look at those weird legs. Let's see if he'll stand. Come on, big guy. Yeah, look at that. Crazy boy. Well, you can't see it. Well, he's standing on one leg. Ta-da! Cool. Man, that was a lot of freaking work. All right. And that's how you fix an Evolve Monster Goliath from Funko and the executive replicas Hellwitch. Make sure this arm is still good on Hellwitch. I think it is. Yeah. All right. Well, that's that for today. It's 4:56, and I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. My God. Oh, hey, Josh Smith. Hey, my man Rocker Josh is here. Oh, my God. Better late than never. Fashionably late. Yeah, I guess it's a friction fit, Mitch. It's super weird. Like, I've never... Yeah, you can just pop it off, but it looks like there's something here, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was adhesived on, and then you just use the ball twists. But this is really nice. I like this. So I have to ask Jesse if he wants me to actually secure that or just leave it alone, because honestly, I think it's cool like that. I would rather have him like that, because you could have like Hulk ripping him apart and put some blood effects in there if you want to get nasty with it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. Patrons, I will be in the chat. Give me about 30 minutes or so, maybe 35. I'm going to go take a shower and get all this off my hands. I've got glue, I've got plastic, I've got all this fun stuff. So, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for a couple of super chats today. That was neat. Haven't seen that in a minute. But yeah, take care of each other out there. All right, guys. Hopefully I'll see you next Sunday for another exciting stream. And as always, remember that the impossible just takes a little longer. Peace. Also, wait, big thanks to my patrons. Hang on, I got to do this. Thank you to my patrons, guys. Esteban Barazza, my man Nacho, Chrisman, Samurai Chris, The Incredible Dave Wonder, Robert Enzo, Ninth Archer Innovations, Geek Mechanics, and Creeper 13 Creations. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you guys. And as always, the impossible takes just a little longer. Bye again. Why don't you work? Why don't you work? You're lit up.